Hey guys, JHoyt here. Before this video gets started, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support across all of our platforms recently. We're still very close here on YouTube from our goal of 200 subscribers. So if you haven't yet, or if you're brand new here, please hit that subscribe button down below. Turn those notifications so you never miss an upload. But we had a massive trade in the NHL. Let's go break it down. What's on, guys? JHoyt back with you today. Welcome back to NHL 21. We used to do something like this with shootout commentaries. This time we got a couple of them, or a few of them I should say, playing as both Winnipeg and Columbus with the teams that we're talking about. So if you missed this trade, this was a massive, I would consider it a block-busting trade, which is on your screen now. The Winnipeg Jets have traded Patrik Laine and Jack Roslovic to the Columbus Blue Jackets in exchange for Pierre-Luc Dubois and a 2022 third-round draft pick. I want to start with what these players are. Who are these players to these teams, or who were they to their teams now that they're on the other side? But Patrik Laine, right, 22 years old, right winger. He is a 2016 second overall pick. Yeah, you heard me. Second overall pick. And yeah, he was expected to be a big part of the Winnipeg's future, but obviously things happen. We'll get to that later on. But he is a pending RFA this year, making $5 million. And also during this trade, Winnipeg retains basically 25% of his salary, which is like $1.75 million. All those numbers around it's a little bit off from that, but those are the round numbers. But what has he done so far in the NHL? He has played in 306 games as I am recording this on January 28th. He has put up 140 goals overall, 110 assists for a total of 250 points, like I said, in 306 games. That's very impressive, averaging about 60 points per year, give or take a few so far. And he, like I said, he's still only 22 years old. I'm not sure when his birthday is, but 22 years old, already playing in his, I think, 5th season, something like that. The second piece from Winnipeg to Columbus is going to be center/right wing Jack Roslovic, who's a 23-year-old former first-round pick, 25th overall. He just signed a contract, basically 2 years at $2 million. One of them is like higher than the other one. Doesn't really matter. Basically 2 years, $2 million per year, but nothing really crazy there. In his 180 games in the NHL, he did spend some time in the AHL, but in the NHL, he has put up 26 goals so far with 41 assists, totaling to be 67 points overall. He's basically like a third, fourth liner. Nothing really too much going on there, and you get a star right winger and a kind of a depth forward going over to Columbus for Pierre-Luc Dubois, who is a 22-year-old centerman, a 2016 third overall pick. Yeah, the second and third overall picks get swapped for each other, so it's kind of funny when you look at it. But he also just signed a brand new deal. So the deal was 2 years at $5 million. So one of those years being this year. And what has he done so far? So he's actually played a little bit less, almost a full season, basically less than Laine. But in 239 games played so far, he has 66 goals, 93 assists, totaling to be 159 points. Averaging about 50 points per year. I know he had a 60-point year, but the other year, rounding it, it's about 50 points per year. But he's also playing in Columbus, where, they don't really have high-flying talent that, has really put up a lot of points. Then also in this trade is a draft pick for, technically be next year. So who knows what that's going to be. But why would you make this trade? Why would Winnipeg and Columbus trade away their young stars for other young stars and throw in a depth forward and a draft pick? Why would they do this? So I'm not really sure what Laine's issue was in Winnipeg, but at least as far as Dubois went, he just wasn't happy there. I don't know if it was ice time or what exactly, but he wasn't happy in his current situation. I don't know if he just hated playing in Columbus or, if he wanted to go to a winning team or a winning franchise and, eventually, wanted to be more in the spotlight, be that number one guy. But he wanted to get traded, so there he put him on the trade block, and apparently there was almost 20 teams or something that inquired about him and what a possible asking price was going to be for him. And then, like I said, I don't know what happened with Winnipeg and Laine, but apparently he wasn't happy, or maybe other people weren't happy with him, and they get swapped for each other. Obviously, you have a couple other players in this one, but Roslovic at the time was a pending, he was an RFA at the time, like I said, so it was basically his signing rights. I'm not sure if he actually signed the deal when he was with Columbus or if he was with Winnipeg, but somehow he gets a new deal out of this. And I believe he's from Ohio, so going back to Columbus, he's going to play, closer to home. So if he's still got family or friends there, then obviously that would definitely benefit him. Then he's another one, Jack Roslovic. I'm not sure, again, why he wanted out of that situation, but he gets a new deal, he gets a new team, and he gets kind of like a new role, I believe. But overall thoughts, I guess, on this situation, right? We broke it down, who these players are, what they're doing for their teams, and all these players wanted out of their current situation, right? All three of them, they weren't happy, or something happened where they just weren't going to be part of that team any longer. But you look at what these guys are going to do at their new squad. So Laine moves over, basically becomes one of the best players there, if you want to argue, like Seth Jones or Zach Werenski on the back end, but he definitely moves over to become the best forward there. But here's the thing. I don't think he's going to stay there, right? Like I said, he's expiring this year as an RFA, but I could see this team either trading him if they're not going to be in a playoff push, or in the offseason, he's going to be asked to be traded. I would put some money on that he would not be in Columbus next year unless all of a sudden he fell in love with that team and all of a sudden they started doing really well. I don't think he's going to stay with that team. But what about Dubois, though? So he now moves over to Winnipeg, but he's no longer going to be the number one guy. He's actually going to be behind Mark Scheifele. So he's either playing second or third line. Obviously, it all depends on when he gets into the team and who ends up playing with him. But he moves over to be second or third line center. He's obviously still young. And, Winnipeg has been doing pretty well this season so far. They start off the season 5-2. Columbus, on the other hand, has the complete opposite record, 2-5. So not really sure, what these players are going to do. Most likely, Dubois would stay there. He would have a chance to learn under Scheifele and potentially turn into a nice 1A, 1B, or a nice 1-2 punch down the middle with Scheifele. But I think Dubois moves to a better situation, but I think Laine moves to the worst situation, if you ask me. But I would definitely see Laine moving to a different team. I could see Roslovic staying there for a little while, especially being on a hometown team. And then Dubois, like I said, would stay there. I think Laine would move if any of these players. But, of course, and now, I know it just happened, but who's the winner of this trade? Now, obviously, we don't know what they're going to do for their current squads yet, right? It's still early at this point. They probably played, once you're seeing this video, they probably played like a game or two, maybe, depending on quarantine and everything. I think the winner of this trade will be decided either this offseason or next year. And the only reason I say that is because I feel like the winner of this trade will be the team that keeps that player, right? So if Columbus keeps Laine or if Winnipeg keeps Dubois, I think whoever keeps that player will win this trade. 100% guaranteed. Write it down. Carve it in stone. That's my honest prediction. The winner of the trade will be whoever keeps their star player. But let me know, what do you guys think of this trade? Let me know down below in that comment section. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys down there. If you did enjoy this video, hit that like button down there. If you did enjoy, hit that like button down below if you haven't yet, or if you're brand new here, hit the subscribe button on your way out. Make sure you turn on those notifications. But as always, guys, we'll see you in the next one.